I am really digging Andor season 2 so far. There was a controversy with it. With the first 3 episodes, something happens that a lot of people were upset about, and I'll get into that in a minute. But I just want to say that I'm really enjoying this show so far. As far as Disney era Star Wars, I haven't really enjoyed any of the movies or shows except for Rogue One and Andor, which Tony Gilroy is the guy they brought in to fix Rogue One and the showrunner on Andor. And so he just seems to be the guy that is actually able to consistently make good Star Wars stuff. No one else has really been able to do it for Star Wars since Disney took over, but Tony Gilroy is that guy. I think my favorite thing about what he does with Star Wars is he doesn't treat it like Star Wars. He treats it like a real living, breathing world. He's like, how would it be to exist in this world, to exist in a galaxy far, far away? How much would the Empire screw up your life? How would people in the Empire feel about this? How would people in the Rebellion feel about this? How would it be like? And it's really cool to see. It's like, oh, this just feels real, while also still feeling Star Warsy. Like, it still feels like it takes place in the Star Wars world. We're getting a different perspective on the Star Wars world. It's really good, and the writing is just great. But the controversy, let's get into that. It's not really much of a controversy, it's just people on Twitter being dumb, mainly. And I think it's mainly grifters. Like, you know those people that make look like 18 videos on Kathleen Kennedy a month that are like, Kathleen Kennedy is ruining Star Wars. Kathleen Kennedy's going to be leaving Lucasfilm, guys. I know she's leaving soon. And they make that just constantly. Those type of people are the people that were mad about this. So, if you don't know, very slight spoilers for the first 3 episodes of Andor Season 2. Bix runs into an Imperial immigration officer that attempts to assault her in a way. I don't know if YouTube... I'm being vague because I don't know if YouTube will allow me to say the R word. Not the tarred one, but the other one. So yeah, an Imperial immigration officer attempts to do that to Bix. And I had no problem with that being portrayed in the show because that's always been a part of Star Wars. Obviously not this upfront as far as the movies and shows go, but what do you think Jabba was doing in his palace? Why do you think Jabba had Leia in a metal bikini? You think he was just going to, like, assuming everything went well at the Sarlacc pit, you think he was just going to chill with her after? You think all those strippers he had dancing around were just for show and he wasn't actually doing anything? You think he wasn't allowing his boys to do whatever they wanted with those women? What do you think was going on? Like, what, do these people not use their brains in watching Star Wars? What do you think's happening? Obviously, there are these things going on. Okay, I'll just say it. YouTube, please don't demonetize me. Of course these dudes are raping these women. This has been happening in Star Wars, obviously. Use your brain. So when this lowly Imperial immigration officer sees this illegal alien on this planet and is like, and also her husband's away and she's alone, is like, oh, I can easily take advantage of her and rape her. Like, oh, that makes sense. That makes perfect sense for some scummy Imperial officer to do. I would agree it would be weird if, like, Tarkin did this. I'd be like, that doesn't seem like Tarkin's vibe. But for this guy in this show, it made perfect sense. It made perfect sense. And I liked how it all went down. And I felt really bad for Bix. It's like, oh my God, I hope Bix is able to get out of this. Because he seemed like a little dude. It's like, I think Bix can take him. And then Bix beats his ass. Like, yeah. I was like, okay. And it also just adds on to Bix's trauma. Poor Bix, dude. These 2 seasons, Bix has been through it, but she finally got her get back in these last 3 episodes, which is cool. But yeah, I love that. I love seeing these characters go through hell because that's how it should be when you're part of the rebellion. When you're the little guy, you should go through hell. That's what I hated about Rebels. I get Rebels as a TV show. You're not gonna be seeing rape on there. Don't mean that, but I mean in Rebels, it felt like the rebels were constantly winning. It's like, how was the Empire ever feared? Like this misfit bands of rebels in Star Wars Rebels were constantly winning. It didn't feel like the Empire was scary at all whatsoever. Like the rebels were constantly winning. They were constantly catching dubs. Because in my opinion, it feels like the rebels should just be not doing so hot and losing constantly until Luke shows up. Because Luke is a new hope, and he's the one who inspires them and kind of gets the ball rolling. Until then, the rebels should just be struggle city. And that's how it is in Andor. It's rough. Things are terrible. And I love seeing that. I love seeing these characters struggle, and the writing in this show is so good. And also, it looks amazing, too, because they shot a lot on location. I believe they went to Spain for, like, that one Mon Mothma's, like, that wedding thing. I think they went to Spain, I believe it was. But yeah, they're shooting a lot on location. They're filming a lot of... they're building a ton of sets. If you're not watching it... There's Andor season 2 Declassified. They're even posted on YouTube. It's on Disney Plus and YouTube. It's behind the scenes for each episodes, for each block of episodes. It's like 12 minutes, and it's really good. Even if you're not watching the show, if you're just interested in like behind the scenes stuff, you should watch that because it's behind the scenes with a cast and crew, and you get to see all the stuff that they build, and you even get into like the fake languages they make for like the Gormans, and it's really cool. And you see how much effort they're putting into it. Man, this feels like way more effort than anything Disney Star Wars has ever done. Like, this feels so much effort. Even Tony Gilroy had a quote recently where he's like, hey, I hope you guys enjoy this because you're never getting this again, which was hilarious because it's kind of taking shots at other Disney projects, being like, no one else is ever going to put this much effort into a show or movie again. Because he's like, you're never going to get another Disney thing that's going to be like shot on location and put this much effort into it. It was funny for him to say that. But hopefully that's not the case, and we get Tony Gilroy back, and he gets to do whatever he wants. That'd be cool. Because it seems like part of why this show's able to succeed, because he said Kathleen Kennedy was great to work with, and he didn't have any problems with her. So it seems like Kathleen Kennedy is like, Andor, who gives a crap about Andor? You can do whatever. And she didn't stick her hands in it and meddle with anything. Unlike, with Kenobi, where she scrapped the original script and like had them rewrite it when they were just about the film, among other things she's done. But with Andor, it seems like, Andor's an insignificant character. I don't care. Do whatever you want. Have fun. And then Tony Gilroy just went and made the best Star Wars show ever. So, yeah, but I'm really enjoying it. So I guess that's my no real spoiler section. Now I'm going to get into spoilers. If you have not watched the first 6 episodes of Andor Season 2, here's your warning. I'm going to be getting into spoilers. So if you don't know, they're doing 3-episode blocks, and after each 3 episodes, that arc ends, and then we jump a year ahead until we get to Rogue One. And I would say the first 3 episodes were better than the second 3 episodes, but I liked them both. I liked both arcs. I thought they were both really good and worth watching, but the first 3 episodes I definitely liked better, probably because we had more Andor, and he's my favorite character. So, I mean, he is the title character, but I do like a lot of the other characters as well. There's very few negatives about this show so far. I'm really enjoying it. I'm loving it a lot. And it's so refreshing to be excited about Star Wars again and have something to watch, but it also makes me sad for when it ends. And I do like the 3-episode blocks at a time because it gives me, it actually makes it nice to where I get I get a good something to chew on, because the 1 episode a week thing, it gets to where I'll just forget about stuff. I was very much one of those people that loved binging a whole season at once. I loved when that happened. We're out of that era now, but I loved that when it was like 1 season would drop and I could watch a whole season in a week and I wouldn't be confused about what was going on and forget things. And that's kind of how this is right now, because we're getting all the info you need for the 1 arc, and it's nice. It's really cool. But that first arc was great. Seeing Cassian's like in a different headspace now. Because in the first season, he was just getting into the rebellion. He was getting used. He was getting toyed around with. And then he tells Luthen, he's like, hey, I want to be a part of this thing. I don't want to be used anymore. I want to be toyed around with. I want to be a part of this thing. And so now we see at the beginning of season 1, or season 2, he's really a part of the rebellion. He's inspiring others. Like, he's talking to that girl that's really nervous about everything. And, like, he's uplifting her. It's like, wow. Cassie in season 1 would have been so doom and gloom to that girl, but then this, he's not. He's become more of a leader. That's cool to see. I like that. I love seeing him drive that. What was it? It was like a prototype. Freaking. Was it a TIE Avenger? I think it was like a prototype TIE Avenger. That was cool seeing him drive that and have no clue how to drive it. It just made me think of Rey, who had never been off planet before and was flying as the best pilot you've ever seen. Or in The Rise of Skywalker, when they're on that planet, with that water planet, and it like none of the natives could sail through those waters during those storms. It was way too hard for any of them. But the girl from a desert planet could navigate it perfectly fine. It was great. It's like, oh, she's so perfect. Then you have Andor, who's struggling to fly this, who's flown a lot before, but this TIE that he's never flown before, his new prototype, he's like, how do I fly this thing? And it takes him like the entire episode to figure it out. He's even complaining about how he's like, I've been upside down for 3 hours. And that was great. I love that. And then seeing him go and run into the dumbest rebels ever. He's supposed to rendezvous with the other pilot, hand off the TIE prototype, the TIE Avenger prototype, and it doesn't go well because the rebels are so in shambles. Because we're at the very beginning. They're trying to figure out how to be a rebellion. There's not a lot of structure here. And you've got these really stupid rebels that they killed the guy that Andor was supposed to meet with. One of the guy's brothers took the one ship they had and left them for dead. Now they're starving out there. Then there's just a civil war between them. And Andor's just trying to just struggle through it all and survive. And then on the flip side of that, you have you have Mon Mothma in high society going through this wedding, like just with all these snobby rich people and all these insane looking costumes that really fit Star Wars. And it's crazy, like cutting from that to Andor just being with the stupid dumbass rebels. It's great. I loved it. And Mon Mothma's wedding stuff was interesting too, because seeing her trying to relive her trauma of going through an arranged marriage, but also seeing it differently because her daughter actually wants to marry this boy. And I thought that scene was very interesting, where she gives the talk to that girl, to her daughter, that she would have wanted her mother to give her. And she gives that talk to her, but then her daughter's like, "What are you doing? Like, you just go get drunk." Because her daughter actually wants to marry this boy. Her daughter was just kind of upset that the boy is kind of like socially dumb and like emotionally dumb because he wouldn't hold hands with her and stuff earlier, but she's actually into him. It's like, that was interesting. I thought that stuff was cool. I love Mon Mothma dancing, getting white girl wasted through the pain. Man, it's just really, really good stuff. And I'll say every scene, I mean, the show in general is great, but every scene between Cassian and Luthen is gold. We got a couple in these last block of episodes. It was really good. Man, when Cassian is upset about Luthen talking to Bix, trying to get her to go on a mission while Cassian's gone, not telling Cassian about it, and he's like, "Man, I'm trying to protect her because she's been through a lot. She's got the trauma of when she got tortured in season 1. She's been reliving that. She also just attempted to get raped in season 2, and she's just been through a lot." And the Luthen's like, "Hey, we just got to keep on keeping on. We got to keep doing what the rebellion's got to do. This is what leaders do." And Cassian's like, "We're not droids, man." And they're both making good points when they're talking. I love that. That's how you know it's good writing, because there are elements of both of what they're saying where I agree, where I get what they're saying. And it's like, man, this is so good. And their performances are great. Skarsgård and Diego Luna both do amazing. Diego Luna really got to show off in these last 3 episodes because he got to go undercover. We got to see him actually do a sort of different type of performance because he plays this designer that's much more upbeat and happy and go-lucky than Cassian is. Because Cassian's very downtrodden and much more like brooding, but he's playing this designer, and we get to see him flip that switch in that scene specifically in the cafe. That was really cool, where he goes from being like, this upbeat designer to being Cassian Andor, like telling truth to this lady, be like, "Hey, this is how you're supposed to do the things. This is how it goes rebellion. It's not easy." It's like, oh, that was really cool. Like, Diego Luna kills it. I know I'm all over the place. Sorry, I didn't write out a script or anything for this video, as you can tell. I just have random notes all over the place. I guess I'll say some negatives now, because I have just been praising the show. I think it's really good. I have very few negatives. One negative is, we had it in the first season, we have it this season again. They use some real-world expletives. They say shit in season 1. They said shit in the episode 1 of season 2. And it's just, that doesn't feel right for Star Wars to me. That was one of the things where I was glad Disney meddled with the first season. They wanted to have Cassian's mother say, like, "fuck the Empire" in her speech. And that just feels too much like my world. That doesn't feel like Star Wars. That feels very out of place. Like, I don't like that. That's one, but again, it's not a huge gripe. It's just that stuff is like, I don't know. It just doesn't feel like we have all these random, like Nerf herder and like all these random Star Warsy words, and then for someone to say shit, it was like, man, it feels out of place. I don't know. I don't care for that. But they have only said it once. And the other thing is the 2 lesbians. I can't remember their names. I don't care about those characters at all. I said it in season 1. I didn't care about them. I don't care about them here. That was one of my gripes with season 1, was that whole crew that Cassian, when he does that heist, I believe this is the second arc of season 1, I love the ending to that heist. But the build up to it, I wasn't a big fan of, because I didn't care about any of those characters at all. And 2 of those characters were the lesbians. And I can't even remember their names. One's Mon Mothma's cousin. I just don't care about them at all. They try to make it like they're important characters, like you should care about them. I don't care. Every time they're on screen, they're talking about their problems or whatever. I don't care. There's a lot of other characters in shit. Even a character that I didn't like in season 1, which was Cyril. I like him in this season. As in, I find his character interesting. I still don't really like his character because, you're not really supposed to like him. But I actually enjoy watching him this season. Like, Cyril's actually interesting now. In season 1, it was just like, oh, here he is eating cereal with his mom. Okay, and that was like basically all he did the entire season 1. It was so annoying because it's like, get back to something interesting, like Cassian. But now Cyril's interesting this season. I love what him and Dedra are doing. I think they're great together. I think they're really interesting. But the rebel lesbians, I didn't. Whatever. One of them just died though, so that's cool. At least we have one less to deal with. because I don't care about these characters at all. I wish both of them would have died, because with just them on screen, it's just, who cares about these characters? They're not interesting whatsoever. They're just there. But that's kind of it as far as my complaints go for this season so far. Is I don't care about those characters, and the profanity, the real world profanity, just feels off and doesn't fit. But those are more gripes because we haven't gotten a lot of those two characters, and we've only got just said shit once, and that was it. Yeah, that's basically it for the negatives. Krennic is having a lot more fun this season. That's really cool. I like that Krennic is in a different place, because in Rogue One, he's got his boss breathing down his neck. He's got Vader there. He's got Tarkin. Things are going not good for him. The plans are in the process of getting stolen. Like, things are really bad. But in this, we see, he's on top of the world, man. He's having a good time. I love it, man. Ben Mendelsohn's doing really good. I like it a lot. I love how Gorman just was literally just like the French Resistance in World War II, because Star Wars has from the beginning been inspired by World War II. I mean, they're fighting stormtroopers, for goodness sake. So I like seeing the World War II influence come back very heavily on Gorman, and that's really cool. And I love, man, the Gormans are just, it's very sad what's going on, because they're trying to build this resistance where they are just like shopkeepers and like people that run cafes and all these other things. They're not people built for a rebellion. I mean, Tarkin killed 500 of them 13 years ago. Just learned that Tarkin massacred 500 armed citizens that were like trying to resist, that were just like trying to stop his ship from landing there, and he just massacred them so he could land there. And they've been struggling ever since. Now things are getting even worse for them, and now they're trying to build the resistance, but they're not made for it. And also, it turns out the resistance was built by the ISB. This is all planned, because the ISB needs the Gorman to resist and actually get some wins, so that way they can come in and be like, hey, the Gormans are resistant. Time for us to completely take over the planet, do whatever we want, and rape it of its resources. And it's like, oh, I like seeing that the Empire's actually planning things, because remember in Star Wars Rebels when Thrawn would be like, yes, I lost at every single turn, the rebels got away, all part of my plan. But here we actually see that they're actually planning something with the Gormans that makes sense. We're like, yeah, we're gonna let them knock off this shipment, we're gonna let them get a few dubs here and there, so that way they can build up, and then it'll justify us just going and grabbing the Gormans by a death grip and doing whatever we want to this planet. And man, the writing is so good. Oh man, I gotta talk about Brasso dying. Brasso is one of my favorite side characters from season 1. He was so cool. And then in season 2, they show that stormtrooper. I was laughing when I was watching it, because I was like, oh, this stupid stormtrooper, because they're doing this really dramatic zoom in on the stormtrooper as he very slowly lifts his blaster up and aims and shoots. I was like, this guy's a stormtrooper, he's gonna miss. And then we learned that he actually hit him and killed Brasso. It's like, oh my goodness. The one stormtrooper that can actually aim. He got instantly killed right after that. But man, the one stormtrooper that can aim, and he killed Brasso. It also sets the tone for the season. Be like, people are going to die. Because it's like, man, that makes me really sad for Bix. Because it's like, Bix is definitely going to die. I really like Bix. I liked at the end of of episode 6 where her and Andor teamed up to take out that freaking dude that tortured her in season 1. I love them working together on that. I thought that was great, because Bix has just been suffering, getting high to take the pain away, and now she gets to go and get her revenge. I also hope that comes back to bite him in the ass. I hope that, because that was kind of reckless of them. They run in there, they kill that guy, they blow up the building, they kill another guy. Like, I hope that we see that bite them in the ass. That would be cool. Because I love that they did that, but also I hope it's like, hey, you can't afford to be reckless. You can't just go kill this Imperial freaking torture dude on Coruscant and blow up part of this building and not have consequences. But man, I just know Bix is gonna die. If she doesn't die, I'd be very surprised. But man, I'm just really enjoying this season, and I've been going for almost 20 minutes, so I guess this is probably where I should wrap it up. I'm really enjoying it. Dedra's great. Cyril is actually interesting now. Cassian's still my favorite. Luthen is awesome. Man, Luthen talking to Mon Mothma was great. Luthen talking to Mon Mothma about that guy where he's just insinuating that he's got to kill that guy. And Mothma's like, what? And she's just like, how nice for you. It's like, ooh. Just, man, it's so good. It's amazing what can happen when you have talented people behind this instead of just like a bunch of idiots. It's really cool, and I can't wait to see where it goes from here. And I hope the rest of the season as good as these first 6 episodes. But anyways, thank you so much for listening to me ramble for 20 minutes. I hope you enjoyed. I want to hear from you in the comments below. What are you guys thinking of Andor Season 2? Are you really enjoying it as much as I am? Or are you not? I want to hear from you guys. And yeah, I'll see y'all in the next one. Goodbye.